Okay, and we are live. So, for the first show, there's some interesting things already on the agenda. We're gonna break you in quick, but you know what? We're gonna start off with something humorous. Let's get some funny stuff going here. This right here, this kills me. Incorrect password. Change his password. New password cannot be the same as the old password. This meme. It's the greatest meme. The comment is meme's undefeated. Because it is undefeated. There's something about that guy screaming. That is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. And let's just go one more. Let's go one more comical one. That's related to Erika Kirk. I know it's not funny, but it is funny because if you've seen any of the production show that she's been putting on this falls, this is so appropriate. Wherever I may have put it at. Oh, there it is. Erika Kirk waking up on her first Christmas without love for her life. The comments, Erika watching this. The best part about TikTok is the comments, without a doubt. The comments make the video sometimes. This is so disrespectful. The love of her life is obviously JD the assassin. This has me Kirk. All right, okay. Enough of that kind of dark humor. But it's so true because if you have seen anything, and I mean anything related to this Erika Kirk situation, what a joke. Like if you're buying anything she's selling, if you've seen how this book tour she's on, how ridiculous. And after the new Candace episode, which I'm sorry, Candace, I'm sorry I didn't trust you, because as soon as I saw Candace going to meet with Erika, I'm like, this is it. Like she's part of the game. You know, she's given, and I'm still not sure. Like I said in my intro video that she's one of the few people in the public realm, in the public space that I trust. Now, does that mean that I completely, like I know she's for our side? I don't. I really don't. But right now, yes, I'm of the people that's out there, Candace is one of the ones I trust. And knowing that she met with Erika and then she had that interview with, I think, was it Mitch on her next episode, where she had that show and she had Mitch on, and him basically confirming that Erika Kirk, and I think it was Charlie Kirk's head of security, was there at that fort where he was at to go kind of reclaim his or dig into why he had to sign an NDA and some of those things that he was involved in, and confirmed that he saw these two. And Candace knew the whole time while she's sitting with Erika this information, right? So she's caught her red-handed. So it just confirms everything that we've already known from the beginning, that something was off with her. And if you can't see that, there's something wrong with you. I'm sorry. If you can't see, like, remember the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard? If you was on Amber Heard's side, there's something wrong. Like, there's something not clicking upstairs. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude, but kind of. Like, there's something not clicking when you can see that type of acting going on, like type of sob story going on, and see zero tears. You see nothing, no emotion, no level of grief. And people's like, oh, wow, people grieve in different ways. Who are you? It's like, no. There is no person, I don't care how shallow of an individual they are, that goes on a worldwide book tour promoting her book, using her husband as basically, I don't know, to push forward her agenda, which people would think is running for president or vice president. And it's obvious. Like, it's totally obvious to us that are in this space. Like, you can show us and give us all the crap you want to about her. You know, you can promote it however you want to promote it. We're not buying it. We haven't bought it from the very beginning with her weird symbolism, with the ring she had on at the funeral, or at the, I guess when she did the weird thing beside his casket, if that was him even in the casket, I don't know. But she's done some weird things, some weird symbolism. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Like, this is when it physically hurts my brain. It physically hurts my brain when people support and you can't see the blatant, obvious propaganda being thrown in your face about, well, we know it wasn't these people because Charlie loved them. Charlie loved them. So, and he, every day he was Shabbat Shalom walking around that. It's like, get it. Stop it. Stop it. We aren't buying it anymore at all. If you ever did buy it. Okay, so just maybe some things along that line. And I liked this video. This is just kind of a encouragement video. And just wanted to bring this into attention here. It says, I pray if anything happens to me that I have someone like Candace on my side. And this is just, a little montage from America First, 77. And people commented Candace loved him more than Erika did. He married the wrong person. But it's just kind of an encouraging video, because I do feel if this whole scene that's been created, this whole, I guess we gotta be careful sometimes about being too provoked in these public affairs. I'm gonna say affairs, and but just the public in general, and letting your emotions, like after Charlie was shot, I cried for a good while, and I think everybody felt a very disturbed spirit inside of them after his death. And there's a lot of people that came out. I'm obviously I'm a truther through and through, so it's obvious that to question things initially. And we knew the BS with the shooter and everything from the get-go, but a lot of people that were questioning whether or not, it was staged, whether it's real, is he an actor? There's a lot of people that say these guys take on different roles, they're clones, there's all kinds of stuff out there, right? And I don't believe that. Right now I believe obviously he was killed, and if it is true, if all of this is true, if Candace is being honest and reasonable and true of a person, she's not part of this stage that we're watching, part of this production we're watching. I don't, right now I don't think she is. I don't. But I like that video because it was showing kind of just the what a true friend would be, right? To left no stone unturned as far as not just, I see the complacency and apathy in people anymore when it comes to truth. People are just apathetic to it. People are just, it doesn't affect me. And something as devastating as that was, to have a friend that would go to the end to find the truth. Is something special. So I really like that video because I do believe it. I do believe she's trying to. And while we're at it, since we're talking about Candace, we have to watch maybe one she posted and a couple others that are related to her comments she made.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
The comments got Shapiro on the horse. The fact we all know exactly who she's talking about. Girl, I love this level of petty. They're only mad because you're onto something. Candace may be my favorite person to exist. And it is hilarious because she made some comments about him basically being Lord Farquaad. And while we're on that subject of Lord Farquaad, there's one more here. There's a couple. Let's see. This is old Shapiro riding his little pony.
My little pony, what is friendship? Oh.
People in the comments go, Max. Do this, but make AI put him in a diaper since he's such a whiny baby. Oh, I love the internet. I love the internet. You know, I find kind of interesting, or like, I'm like, yeah, that kind of moved me. And somebody made a TikTok that says, bring back jaunty story openings. And it's just like this. I don't even know what this movie is. I don't. But what I'm gathering from it, or what I've gathered from it, what I like about it is that whimsical tune, right? The whimsical sound in the beginning just immediately piques your interest. It's weird how music does that, right? How sounds can do that. This thing's immediately, just through that, they call it a jaunty story opening, but just it feels magical in a way, or feels like just upbeat, positive, just through that initial intro. And I kind of like that TikTok there. So I know that's kind of just a random thing. Again, this is kind of what the show is going to be about. It's just going to be some random content. You know, obviously it's going to be heavily focused around the conspiracy truth and different things. But we're going to also drop in some funny and some random TikToks. And maybe you relate to it, maybe you don't. No big deal. I love this one. This was another one from about Christmas. It says, leaving the Christmas party early, but at least they all know about the Nephilim, the Great Deception, and who runs the world. Oh, shoot. And it's like, that's so true, right? Because there's this, we can't talk to people, right? Like, people don't understand, like, when you're in this space, talking normal is not, that's not, like, that's no longer, I don't say talking normal. This is talking normal to us. Like, talking about current events and the scam that they are, or who runs them, or who's behind it, or what they're trying to do, or what they're trying to implement, or how much they're stealing from us, or whatever it may be. We want to talk about this stuff. I don't care. And I love sports, dude. Like, you ask me to play basketball tonight, I'll be there within reason. I love it. I loved, one of my favorite things growing up was watching football. Love watching, I still like watching the Steelers, like Aaron Rodgers. Like, I'm going to watch as much Aaron Rodgers as I can because I'm trying to soak up again the greatness one more time, right? You know, like, you're living in a time where it's not going to be a time here in a couple of years, or maybe even next year. Like, it's the end of an era, end of a generation, in a way. I shouldn't say generation, but end of an era. And so I'm trying to soak some of that up. And a lot of people are like, well, I don't enjoy talking about, it's still mundane to me as far as, like, I might talk about Aaron, but, like, most of football, most of sports, most of that stuff is not important. It's not like it's pertinent to my well-being or to decision-making or to just my thoughts in general. It's very low tier, right? I want something that's going to stimulate my mind, stimulate my brain, get me thinking, get me questioning. And that's what a lot of this is about, or it's going to be about. So, anyways, but yeah, so it's very hard for us sometimes to fit into normal conversations, to fit into what the public deems as like, and it's very surface level, and that's not to be rude. I understand that's what most, but it's boring. It's no longer fulfilling. It's not satiating anything, right? It's again, it's pretty trivial information that I don't like to stew on or even really give it my time much longer than I have to. And this is coming from somebody who does enjoy sports and likes sports. And we'll talk more about that on the show, of course. And kind of because we see the messaging behind it, like the whole food and games, and like you see that. You see how much alcohol is consumed. You see how much it's a distraction, right? It's just another distraction from what's going on. Here, it is the gladiator games. Have your food, have your drinks, watch your stupid, professional athletes, and carry on about your day and get to work. And let us puppeteer everything else. Like we know the message. We understand this in this community, why it is, why they draw so much. And if you watch, I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent again here. If you watch the games beforehand, you see the soap opera, like on a Monday night game or a Sunday night game or a Thursday night game, where they do the whole like pre-show, as far as like before the game starts, they have usually a really pretty looking reporter go in and interview some of the athletes, and they're setting the stage for just like a narrative, right? Or for a character, right? Like here's Saquon Barkley, and here's all his backstories, and think about his life personally, and they're just creating a character for us to follow, right? They're adding layers to it, more than just a professional, more than just a running back. Here's all this other stuff he does. It's like they're creating this, they're manufacturing some of this to, again, intrigue us and keep us distracted. Just like that's why reality TV is a joke. Like the fact that you follow reality television knowing it's all set and staged, like it's low tier again, right? So yeah, we understand. Okay. So let us get into let's see here. There's obviously a lot of stuff about the tiny hats. A lot of people are noticing, finally. It's taken some time, but they're noticing. Oh, I like this one because this is just it kind of speaks true to what us in this space have dealt with, and not just our parents, but family in general, but usually older people.
Oh my God! Can you stop with the conspiracy theories, please? Do you understand how insane you sound right now? You sound crazy. Why do you personally think this? What is the reason behind you believing this on a personal level? Sounds like you need to do your research. You need to actually do some research for once. Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about, actually. Are you suggesting right now, let me just get this straight. You're suggesting that our government would do something to hurt us, its people? Listen to yourself. Oh, get the tinfoil hat. We gotta get the tinfoil hat for this guy. How could you speak like that about such an event? You have no empathy. You are so insensitive.
Okay. The comments. If that was true, it was... This would take too many people cooperating. It's unrealistic. All these comments. Our taxes pay for Israel's healthcare, education, and children. Parents. Nuh-uh. What are you talking about? Israel is our greatest ally. And this is why I love TikTok. Because it's like, oh, yes. Yes, these are my people. These are my people, right? Like, these are the people I'm like, where are you at in society? And research is the news, cable news. My parents, we have Jewish friends. When I said I don't support is not real. My mom started yelling and crying because I said Trump was friends with Epstein. Oh, it's insane. You forgot. Why do you care so much for it? It's not like you can do anything about it. All of these comments from a person from this, again, this space. It's like this is as good as Christmas can get. Okay, like we've been in this space. You've heard these things. I've heard them not just from parents. I've heard this one so many times. Do you understand how many people would need to be in on this for this to be true? Like this, there's no way people could keep this a secret. It's laughable because we forget just a few years ago how governments and the medical community corroborated together, They collabed, right? They had a collaboration together to bamboozle so many people, and so many people bought it. And guess what? They collabed. They were all cooperating together. And even the people that were like, that didn't get it and didn't, was against it, are still like, well, I mean, that's like one thing. It's like that was a worldwide event that so yes, yes, we have seen these things. What are we talking about? Israel's our greatest ally. It's our greatest ally. The term ally itself implies they're friendly. Allies and Axis. They're our allies. Oh, it hurts. It physically hurts sometimes. Okay. All right. Because I could go on forever about some of these comments because they're relatable. And so while we're at it, let's go ahead and just peek another one. There's so many on my algorithm, obviously. I can't share them all, but I would like to. But here's the one and only Mr. Mike O'Hearn himself.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
The feeling of trillions of dollars of propaganda didn't work. Posted from Mike O'Hearn himself, Mr. Gladiator himself. Because guess what? He's a noticer. He's a noticer. Even Mike O'Hearn. Because we understand, like, once you see the propaganda, you can't unsee it. It's everywhere. I got banned from TikTok because I talked about a certain country just a few times. And now they run the app. Okay? Is that a big enough red flag when, again, they suppress and they eliminate any voices or opinions on subjects, right? Like, people, you want to know who control you? What's that saying? You want to know who control you? Who can you talk about and who can you not talk about? Well, guess who we cannot talk about? And watch how much they have tried to... again, propagandize all of America through their ads, through their, I've seen so much, like, oh, you're an anti-Semite, or you're this, or you're that, and you're this, and it's like, again, let's have compassion, and we do, but what about compassion on Gaza, right? What about compassion on these genocides that they're committing? It doesn't go two ways. And there's just so much I want to say, and we're going to probably eventually get there, but I don't know how much YouTube suppresses stuff. That's part of the reason why I'm doing this as well, was because I'm hoping YouTube isn't as strict as TikTok, but obviously we're going to find out, and I'm still going to try to be... It's terrible that you just can't say what you want to say. Like, I just want to say it. I got to tiptoe around it still. Again, I should tell you. But obviously, We're going to find out. So there's a lot I want to say to that. And we're going to conclude this episode with one more. And I really like this guy's content. He's still on TikTok. I don't think he ever got banned, or if he did, he's more diligent than me. He's created a new page. And see, that's what they want you to do. They want you to, and I'm guilty as well, because I also realized how ignorant it became trying to make more accounts and start over. And so it's like, why don't I just make something more tangible, something more that even, because your account gets erased, so everything you created is basically gone. I think you can download it. I've tried downloading it. I haven't succeeded at that yet. So like, you made content not just about things for yourself or conspiracy, but just actually, like, I made a lot of dog. Like, I love my dog. Made a lot of dog content. And just things that I'm like, I want that back, right? Like, I didn't spend time making that for just to be erased. So, but anyways, let's watch. We're gonna finish off with some old world video. Now, if you're in this community, it's nothing new. I just like to get that. I do and very much enjoy the old world architecture. I'm kind of obsessed now with it. I have been for a while. I go to these cities. I talked about in my intro. I go to these cities, and I'm going to probably upload some of that content eventually. I go to these cities, and I go around to you can immediately find, like, the old world buildings immediately. And I don't know, like, because I go to these, it's Kip Moore concerts. They're smaller venue type concerts. But the theaters are usually around almost all the old world structures. So you can detect them because, again, it's not rocket science. Whatever looks Roman, which probably was Roman, those are the old world structures. You see Corinthian pillars. You see just grand scale buildings that we don't ever make today. Guess what? We probably didn't make them. We probably didn't build them. So I love when people... Well, we took more time back then. We took more time. Do you understand how designing something in another society or culture's design, what that would take? Like, I watched this Japanese carpenter on TikTok. I think he's got a YouTube channel. Do you know how I'm going to learn Japanese carpentry? By following a Japanese guy. You know how I'm going to learn Swedish carpentry? I'm going to go to Sweden. How do you think they learned how to build Romanesque buildings, Richardsonian Romanesque buildings in America? They import some Romans? Come on over here. You think we just carried that knowledge over? Because that's a whole other subject. They just, hey, you guys remember that building over there in Rome we saw? It'd be kind of cool to make one of them over here. Oh, I got you. That's not how construction works. That's not how that works. You don't just dream something up and now become an expert in it. It takes knowledge passed down generations, years of skillful work. And again, in a society where information was not at your fingertips like it is now. I just can't go on the internet and look at a schematic or, go on a channel and find how this guy builds and try to copy it. No. This is a very informationless society as far as ease of access to it. And we're supposed to believe off a few drawings and a few classes in America. Like, some of these architects went to these colleges in America and learned how to build Richardsonian Romanesque buildings. I dare you, and they're always local. Mostly, they're usually local contractors too. When you look at these buildings, I dare you to find somebody local in your town and say, "Hey, you see that building? Cost to me is no limits. Can you build that?" And I promise you, they can't. I promise you. No, with the arches and the columns and the cymatic patterns, and you look at some of these structures they got, just the statues alone. Some of them aren't even statues that are placed on a rock. They're statues that are actually carved out of their stone, like on a cornerstone. It's part, like half the stone is part of the foundation. Half the stone is a gargoyle. Tell me, go find me a local sculptor to do that mid-construction. Hey, I want a 10th block up, 10th block high up. I want a gargoyle, exact replica of the other one across the road there, on that 10th block high. But I want part of the stone and part of the stone to be gargoyle. You can do that, right? No problem. I'm a local contractor, can do it. Yeah. Find me some armors. They'll carve that out. Like, no, this doesn't happen. Okay, so we're going to just finish with that, and then we're going to wrap this first episode up.
This is Japan in the old world, showing that same unified grand architecture we've found all across this realm, whether it's Japan, America, Europe, it doesn't matter. Same dome towers, the same ether gathering antennas. Before the last reset, we were all unified, all connected, and all a lot more advanced than our history books tell us. And of course, like all other lands of the old world, wouldn't be complete without the star forts, which there is many in Japan as well. As the infamous Napoleon says, history is nothing more than a set of lies agreed upon, and it's a set of lies they agreed upon. Question everything, friends. Until next time.
So, if you're seeing that for the first time, which I hope people that are on the, going to be following this channel are probably not. Again, but the point is, these structures are everywhere. They're all across the plane. I hate when people say planet or globe. They're all across the plane. They're all across the world. And we know now, we didn't build these. And we're going to dive deeper into that, obviously, throughout this show. We're going to give you, much more evidence. Just me saying, hey, we didn't build these. But we didn't build these. Somebody did. But it isn't the story that we've been told. And they are fascinating. And I encourage you to look a little closer next time, even in your own town. They're all over. Even if you're in a small town, you'll find them. It might be a church, might be a cathedral of sorts. It might be it's usually a post office building or a city hall building or a courthouse. Or they're always publicly, or they're either church owned or state owned for the most part, or city owned. You want to call it 99% of the time. So I encourage you next time you're around your town to take a look, and then think about how, why, when, where. How do they source material? How do they find a contractor that could build like this? How did they? What tools do they use? What technology do they have at the time? How did they move material? Not just source the material, but how do they move it? How do they carve it? How do they hoist it? And how do they do that? Usually, you're going to find also the times related around these buildings. The times of construction are within a very narrow window. It's not like, it took 10 years to build. It's like a year, 2 years. And again, just use your head and think about the detail of these buildings. It can only be done in a year or two. And then also, I'm not going to say you'll never find, and now the problem with AI is it's muddying the waters of what is true and what is not, as far as old pictures. But most of these buildings, especially courthouse, like premium, I'm talking premium of the crop buildings, there's not a single construction photo. There's always a photo with guys standing in front, like proud of their work, and it's usually mud around them. It's usually like looks like a very, like they just discovered these buildings and they're standing in a picture, like standing in front of them, like, oh, look at us, look what we found, guys. Look at this. What are we gonna do with this thing? It wasn't. You'll never find not even a beginning like foundation or it's already built. It's completed, and they're just standing in front of it because they found the buildings. They did not build We found them. And then we took pictures in front of them. Then we claimed them. Then we wrote history. We wrote some stories around it. Or AI did. I don't know. People's like, oh, AI is new. It's like, nah. Is it? Is it new? How much technology have they had and how many years have they hit it for? So anyways, we're going to conclude with that. Have a good night. Hope you enjoyed the show. See you in the next one.